Hello, and welcome to this Whodunit review of the movie Murder Mystery 2. Murder Mystery 2 was released by Netflix on March 31st, 2023, and stars Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, reprising their roles as Nick and Audrey Spitz from the original movie. From the opening montage, we learn that Nick has left the police department even though the French Inspector Delacroix offered to help him become a police detective at the end of the first movie. And Audrey quits her job as a hairdresser to pursue new careers as private investigators. This immediately told me that there would be less character development for the two leads in this movie compared to the first. The whole emotional crux of the first movie was Audrey's growing disappointment with Nick. There were even points where the audience was made to believe that she might leave Nick, and Nick's emotional arc revolved around the fact that he would try any crazy way not to disappoint Audrey. Now, all of that great character work has been set aside in favor of the more streamlined plot of a married couple simply trying to be private investigators. Actually, the film, from the very beginning scene with the two going undercover to trap who they mistakenly suspect is a philandering husband, uses a template based on a few tired movie tropes. These tropes are the fish out of water, the amateur pretending to be the expert, the fear of embarrassment trope, and the fake it until you make it trope. You've probably seen it used to a much better effect in films such as Three Amigos, Melissa McCarthy's Spy, The Man Who Knew Too Little, and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, just to name a few. There does seem to be some genuine chemistry between the two leads, Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, but the dialogue between the two is packed with lame jokes that derail any real character examination. For example, after the debacle of their wandering husband case, the two characters of Audrey and Nick are justifiably depressed, but instead of exploring the fact that each is having serious doubts about the business, the emotional tension is pushed aside by a lame joke about Nick walking in his sleep in his wife's underwear. The rest of the dialogue in this scene in particular did nothing to help me unmuddle Nick's motivation. Audrey obviously wants to continue on with the business as she tries to coerce Nick into reading a book written by the man who wrote their state's PI exam, so Nick can become a licensed PI too, and they can both get better clients. But Nick seems to be unenchanted with his new PI career, a career he was once excited enough to mortgage his future for, but now not excited enough to actually put any effort into. And when the two get a phone call from the Maharaja Vikram to come to his wedding on his private island, Nick sees it as an opportunity to completely ditch his job for a few days at least. For me, Nick's character lost any development he gained in the first movie, devolving back into the typical lazy, selfish character we first met in Murder Mystery 1. Despite the uninspiring script, the movie looks like it could have been a summer blockbuster along the lines of the most expensive James Bond movie. Two set pieces especially do some heavy lifting for what is a Netflix streaming movie. Those are the private island upon which the amazing Indian wedding is held, and the romanticized streets of Paris at dusk, where an insanely well-choreographed car chase happens along with a climactic ending at the top of the Eiffel Tower. As for the heart of the mystery, it begins at the wedding, where Audrey and Nick are presented with some of their soon-to-be suspects. Francisco Perez, a retired soccer player. Saira, the Maharaja's sister. The Countess Seku, the Maharaja's ex-fiancée, along with her snickering sidekick, Imani. There's the Maharaja's current fiancée, Claudette Joubert, whom the Spitzes met earlier upon their arrival. Colonel Ulenga was in the first movie, and Vic's new bodyguard, Mr. Luis. During the ceremony, which involves traditional dancing, dress, and even trained elephants, the elephant that is to carry the Maharaja drops its passenger, who is revealed to be the corpse of Mr. Luis. The new bodyguard dressed up as Vic. Nick, suspecting this was just a diversion to kidnap the real Maharaja, chases after a mysterious figure who leaves the island with Vic on a boat. From this point, it is up to Audrey and Nick to clear away the deception that this was a kidnapping by a terrorist group hostile to the Maharaja's companies and reveal the truth, that one of the suspects at the wedding was behind it all. They must also contend with being pushed aside by an elite counterterrorism group headed by the man who wrote Audrey's PI test book. Overall, I'll give this movie 2 owls out of 5. If not for the overly luxurious settings, it probably would have gotten 1 out of 5. If you want to see this movie or its predecessor, it can be found on Netflix. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button or maybe even the subscribe button. That way you can be notified when other videos like this one from Whodunitville come out. Also, please consider sharing this video with others. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.